Sorted, Ned?
Are we all right? Is Ned just
Yeah.
playing
Broke
around?
the sound.
Okay.
Broke the sound.
And there you go. With all that
done,
was going on.
done, innit? Done, and we move on. And
I mean, what have you made it? I know you spoke to Dan, didn't you, from Crystal Palace last week? What have you made of the Textor stuff?
I don't really know. It's hard to know what to make of it because it's because it's a guy who's trying to just talk about us and say this is what he wants to do, and it's hard to know. Yeah, it's hard to know what the actual score is with that because I mean, obviously, if he was interested, that's great, and if he isn't, if he is interested, that's fantastic. But of course, he has to sell his shares in Crystal Palace, and if he doesn't sell his shares in Crystal Palace, then it doesn't really move us anywhere. It's just more than anything, it's just frustrating, isn't it? It's like it's a guy sitting there who's got the means to take us on and move us on. And he did say in his statement, you know, he thinks by the time he sells his shares that Everton might be already sorted by then. So he is sort of just showing a little bit of leg, isn't he? But without having to actually be able to do anything. So it's hard to actually, there's no point getting excited about it. No. And in a way, that's probably a good thing though. In a way, the fact that he still has got his shares is a good thing for us so that we don't get carried away or too excited by it all. We can look at it for what it is, and in that, and we know there is a genuine time frame then, rather than him saying something and then going, well, is he going to commit to something? He obviously can't do anything. So I think that gives us the ability to, or gives certainly Farad Moshiri the ability to say, we keep looking. We can't wait for you, mate. We can't wait for you. You can, because obviously we know by the rules that he can be as serious as he wants about buying Everton Football Club, but he can't. And he's another guy who's obviously frustrated by the situation of financial fair play. He's a guy who's got money. There's no real idea of what kind of money he's got. But he is a guy who's immensely talented in terms of, certainly I think PR. I think he's very good. He's being CEO of a lot of some good companies and being around some. I think he was CEO of Facebook at one time. So he was he helped grow Fubu, who I was saying last week we were attached to them very early on when we started this, when they were a growing company, and they've outgrown us a little bit, like, but so yeah, it's nothing to get excited about, but I think that's a good thing at this stage.
Yeah, it's a pity, isn't it? Because obviously, had he not had the Palace thing, you would be pretty excited by what, because he sounds like, well, I know, listen, words are cheap, aren't they? You can say whatever. But he said a lot of the right stuff, I think, last week. That interview he gave, be great to return Everton to glory, or, and the one, how can you ignore a club like that, and blah, 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 blah. That's what you want, don't you? You want somebody with ambition. You don't want somebody who just sees, listen, they're all businessmen at the end of the day, and of course Everton's a big opportunity, but you also want someone to get hold of you who has got the ambition to try to make you successful and try to put you where we feel we belong, don't you? And right now, I mean, I've just seen that title.
I know, I've just seen it and I've got no idea what it means.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Dialogue.
We said dialogue,
not log. There's not a log book.
I was just looking at it going, did you change that?
Why would I? What's a dialogue? Dialogue.
No,
we literally said dialogue, which means means conversation.
Oh.
And you put dialogue.
What you meant? He's
keeping the log of all the
He's keeping a log of people who want to buy them.
Well, on the 2nd of June, I received a phone call at 2:27 from.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant, so we can review the buyers in his log.
No.
That makes less sense.
Oh my God.
Incredible. I mean,
Oh my God.
it took me 6 minutes to realise that nothing's really changed while I've been away. So straight away, the sound engineers made sure there was no sound for anyone, and he's called something a dialogue. That's absolutely class. That's up there with his other one, wasn't
It
it?
makes sense, though. It does make sense.
Does it?
He'll have a log of
Buyers. Okay.
Buyers.
Hey. Okay.
He's opened this log and got, all right, they don't want it, so who else have I got? John Textor, MSP,
Oh my God.
the Esk, and he's going to choose one of his people out of his log.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, honestly.
Incredible.
You couldn't write that. You couldn't go, let's do a funny joke. You couldn't, could you? Let's do a funny joke 10 minutes into the show.
Class.
Oh,
I just seen it and I was thinking, what's a dialogue?
No, I was.
Yeah, like-
But then I was thinking, I even Googled dialogue. I literally Googled
You
it.
thought I'd come up with
I thought you'd come up with something really like clever and smart.
No.
And you were just going to go,
And I was just going to,
The dialogue is the most important.
It probably is. And I thought your first day back, I don't want to argue with your title. I'm just letting you have that one.
No.
Oh my God.
When I come up with something really clever,
Absolutely nothing to do with me.
why can't I come up with something really clever?
Yeah, but that's
Not clever. That's because you've already ruined it by going, oh, dialogue. If you'd said, no, lads, I think dialogue is the way to go, then I'd be like, fair play, Ned. You've used something there.
Yeah.
Would you have said yes?
No, because as I said,
because it doesn't mean anything.
yeah.
I've now changed it on
Oh,
Premier
God.
as well. The title.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
That's hilarious.
Well, fair play, Ned. Fair play.
Imagine Moshiri comes out and goes, I have scanned my buyer log.
Yeah, well, hey.
I've chosen a new buyer.
Listen, maybe he will. Before we carry on, I think it's important to say that we obviously wish Kevin Campbell a recovery, a speedy recovery. We know he's very unwell at the moment, so he's using that word, but he is a friend.
Well, no, he's a friend.
The show, isn't he? Or a friend there, and we've spoke to him many times. He's one of the nicest people you can ever meet. We've met and been lucky. I think you said this the other day. We've met and been lucky enough to meet a lot of footballers and ex-footballers and doing this. And to be honest, most of them are sound.
Most
to be fair.
sound.
But Kevin Campbell genuinely is just one of the nicest fellas I've ever met. Whether playing, when all of that, there's just no airs and graces about him. He's just a great fella, and hopefully, just everybody just send them some positive vibes to just make a recovery from what is obviously very, very serious situation that he's in.
Yeah, he's been ill before and he got over it. But obviously this time again, it's struck him down again. So yeah, I think yesterday the club were forced into saying something because of silly rumours doing the rounds on the internet. But
we were told late last week, weren't we? And obviously, no one. We weren't going to say anything because it wasn't our position to put anything out, and we were told as friends, really, rather than anything else. But obviously the rumours pick up and it gets out somewhere, and then whatever. And the club have made a statement, and I know Arsenal have made a statement, and Leicester City, we spent some time on loan, have made a statement, and we just wish him all the best, and obviously thoughts with his family as well. Obviously it's a terrible time, isn't it, at the moment? So hopefully keep fighting, Kev, and hopefully he can get hold of it and he makes as good a recovery as he can in what is obviously it's a difficult situation at the moment. But like you said before, he was ill last time, and he did certainly made big improvements, and hopefully he can do it again. Because again, just to reiterate, he is one of the nicest people you can meet, and a huge part of Everton's history, really, for keeping the football club in the Premier League when we were gone. and he you know, he did, and we needed him, and he came up big, and I guess he probably needs all your positivity that you can send and think about him and all of that, and his family. So get well soon as you can, Kev. We are all hoping and praying and everything else, thinking positively for you. Carla says welcome back. A few people are loving Biolog, by the way. It's up there with it's one of his classics, I feel.
I feel like we've just witnessed a moment.
Well, Metaculus was a good one, wasn't it?
But that was just
that was just him not.
That was just him making a mistake.
Yeah.
That's him inventing something. And I think it'll go into the Urban Dictionary.
It could well do.
I think it'll stick around for many a year.
Yeah.
You know, obviously as Kevin Campbell opens his Biolog for the summer. And makes a note.
Has he opened it all?
I think it's already open.
Do you think?
Yeah, just creaking open, first page.
I don't know.
Getting the quill pen out.
Oh, slow.
Getting the quill and dipping it into the old big thing of ink with his Bob Cratchit gloves on.
Maybe.
Asking whoever's in charge if he can have half a day off for Christmas.
Maybe. Yeah, thanks, Carla, by the way. Yeah, so John Textor, he's one who's shown his hand. There's obviously other people involved in the process as well. They can show themselves now, can't they?
Can I just stop you just for one moment? Because I think this is a really interesting comment. TL says that was definitely the hardest I've laughed in my career of Toffee TV.
There you go.
He's made a career out of watching Toffee TV.
Why wouldn't you?
Has he got a fan channel for us?
Maybe.
I think he has just the final word on this show.
Maybe. He sits there and goes, oh, the lads. Player ratings, presenter ratings. Yeah, Baz has had a mare today. Oh, Ned, I'm sorry, I've got to give him 2 out of 10 again. He couldn't even get the audio right.
That's tremendous. The career. Mike, his career. Fair play to you, I like that.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so others will be there, won't they? The opportunity is now. And hopefully we get someone who's A, got the money, B, can get this passed quick, or can get this agreement with Farhad Moshiri as quickly as possible and move forward. Like I said, if Textor didn't have Palace, I'd be quite excited is probably too big a word, but I think I'd be very kind of uplifted, thinking, oh, this is a fella who's like, seems like he really wants to put Everton there. No, it's again, I reiterate, words are cheap, aren't they? But I think you do need someone that comes out and is like, I want to make this club great again, and all of that palaver. But do you think there'll be there's obviously definitely interest from North America. Do you think will pull interest in from like the Middle East or places like that, or do you think it's more likely to be? I think it'd be more likely to be America because of the stadium. Yeah, because I think financially, to someone in the Middle East, I can't imagine the debt being much of an issue. Like, if you've got that much money, don't get me wrong, they don't need to spend. Don't need to spend money for the sake of it. But I think you're more likely to get an American because of the stadium. They're going to see that stadium and think, opportunity. There's an opportunity to make loads of money. Whether they might have connections with people coming over, like whatever artists doing, like Taylor Swift's doing 3 days, isn't she, at Anfield? Like the idea of having someone like Taylor Swift or Beyonce or someone like that coming to the city regularly and playing our stadium. Coldplay. Well, whoever, they're all attached to massive agencies, aren't they? And you could get someone who could come over and play like three nights at your stadium every year or every other year, and you become the premier venue in like the Northwest. I mean, imagine how much money. And if you're smart enough to have money that you can buy places within the area as well who can cater for that, build another nice hotel like the Titanic is, things like that. If you can
you can see those opportunities. And the football is almost, I mean, it's not secondary, obviously, but you can see the opportunities away from football. You can see the opportunities on the match day. You can see opportunities to bring in international games, Brazil, things like that. Have international series is there. They're what these people see. You know, I was talking, when was I talking? Was it last week or the week before? About the guy who owns the LA Clippers, and he's just about to be building this arena, which is worth, I think it's like $3 billion, and the place is incredible, absolutely incredible. And they see the idea of what they're building and what they can achieve from it. You know, when they built the SoFi in LA, I mean, it's cost like $3 billion. Best stadium in the world, probably. But what that brings is WrestleMania, Super Bowl, any artist is going to play there. You know, they're the opportunities that are there, right there, and the thing's already been practically paid for them. And that's the thing, though. You do look at it and think, does someone wait till it's done? You know, with 6-7 months left of the build to complete, do you wait for it to be done and let someone else pay for it and pick up sort of the tab afterwards, whatever's left on, you know, whether the debt's attached to the football club or whatever. So I just think, yeah, I think an American will more likely see what they can do with that stadium. You know, we obviously know the Euros in 4 years' time, games are going to be played there. Opportunities maybe for a Europa League final to be played there as well. I don't think it's quite big enough for a Champions League final, but obviously a Europa League final could be played there, things like that. I just think there's so much scope for that ground, and you're getting it brand new. You're getting it brand new, which means you can shape it from the start. You know, and I think that's really important as well. So I definitely think there'll be people there. Listen, if we weren't building a new stadium, you'd be very, very worried about the club in this situation with carrying all that debt. But I think the
reality is that wouldn't be anywhere.
No, of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. So it is the thing that gives us a
but
glimmer.
We'd have no positivity.
Yeah, it is the thing that gives us a glimmer of hope, isn't it? And for many years, obviously, we wanted a new stadium, and there it is now. And as I said, just you look at it and it is a completed stadium. It just need, you know, they only have to do one more part of the roof and do the barrel, and it looks like a completed stadium. Obviously, all the other things need to be done, but a lot of it is
taking shape, though, isn't it? I mean, Everton put out stuff up the dressing room yesterday. Obviously,
yeah. Well, the internal stuff now will be once the external stuff starts. I think there's 1,200 men on site. Once the external stuff starts getting completed, you know, it'll be all about those teams inside and doing the final touches and stuff. So, and they're digging out the waterway as well now. So obviously that's, you know, the completing the steps on the west side of it. So it is a lot of it just looks really cosmetic now that they need to finish off. I think they're doing the solar panels on the south stand roof. They're obviously doing there's a little video Everton put out last week of Ozzy and Sheedy sitting or going to the rail seating as well. So the rail seating started to go in as well, and that'll be done before you know it. Next couple of months before the season starts, you know, cosmetically that stadium will be ready to go from the outside anyway. So you're looking at that and thinking, if someone's looking at that, thinking, oh my God, we need like another big, real rich person to fly over in a helicopter and go, what's that? Yeah. Maybe today with the massive Cunard ship down there, maybe there's someone on it who's looking, going, what's that? That looks sound, doesn't it?
Who knows? That's what you need, isn't it? Few people say new word for the English language, dialogue. Simon says it, and obviously lots of well wishes for Kevin Campbell as well. Sai Harrison said, what's the quality like on the DH Gate shirt? Just ordered the Japan World Cup shirt from 2018. Do
you know what? They're all right. I don't wear them. I buy them to... Put it this way, right? There's 2 shirts here which are DH Gate. 2 shirts here at DH Gate. So, if you can guess which ones they are, then what were you doing? Guessing which ones they are. You know what they are though. It's in your buyer's log.
You won't be able to tell though.
No. The quality's fine, mate. I just don't wear them because I just don't wear them because I just don't. But there you go. But Ned, what do you like to wear?
Nice.
They're fine, yeah. What do you like to wash?
So far, so good.
Okay.
And I have fun.
All the badges are stitched on them as well, so that's quite good.
What's embroidered on the originals is embroidered, and what's not isn't. They do it.
The only thing I'd worry about is, and I appreciate this has turned into a fashion show now. The only thing I'd say is that if you buy like them with numbers on the back, the numbers can be a little bit cheap and shiny. So I wouldn't buy them with numbers on them. I'd get that done after you buy them and get the proper stuff put on them.
Depends what kit you get, though.
Yeah. There you go. But if you can guess which two are on the wall are from the H of the gate, then you'll not win anything.
Matthew Boucher's only recently found out about Andy Cole's similar situation. All the best, Super Kevin. Ian says, having been in kidney failure as well as heart failure at the same time. I'm wishing Kev a speedy recovery. Excellent. I announced a KTK brilliantly, Simon, so I don't know what that's all about. Yeah? I think Simon is trying to wind me up. Where are we? Here, next Wednesday. Says next Wednesday will mark 1 year since we had a board of directors. Amazing how a business can function for so long without the most revered board in the country.
Yeah, saying that last week to Ned, saying it's coming up to a year since they went, and that's see, for me, that's the first thing he should be doing this week, is putting a new board in place and getting a new CEO. We shouldn't continue to run as everything being temporary. We have to put something in place, which is, who knows how long Everton really will be owned by Farhad Moshiri. We've got to put people in place right now.
Yeah.
We've got to put a board in place, and we've got to have a CEO. Really?
Yeah, absolutely we do. We absolutely do, because it's just bobbing along, isn't it?
Yeah. I know big decisions need to be made as well. Also, we've got to take advantage of anything that comes with the stadium as well. This is the time where deals will be getting signed off on. Big deals, there'll be potential of naming rights, and obviously deals for who and what we sell within the ground and outside the ground, and all those and what we're using internally in the restaurants and all that kind of thing. All these deals need to be done now, and you need the best people. And I'm not saying Everton haven't got the best people working on these deals. I'm not saying they haven't got people capable, but you'd like to just think that Everton can exploit, signing deals, maybe, as we were saying before, for external stuff, to make the place a 24, maybe not 24 hour, but certainly a 365 place. You've got to sign the deals with the right people and make sure we're exploiting all that. It's going to be a huge non-football venue. And Everton have got to exploit that, and they need the right people within the football club to do that and sign off on it. And that's all going to be getting done right now. We're not talking about a year's time. We're getting ready to open the thing. That all has to be in place now. So I'd feel a lot more comfortable if we had people at the football club who had a real good track record. Even if it was somebody who came in and was had that track record and knew that it was something that would be temporary in many ways, and was, I don't know who that person is, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who've done that. I don't know where Sir Terry Leary is right now, and if he's still wasn't he with B&M last time? People like that who understand the market, and we can go forward with.
Yeah. Where are we? Where are you? Jonathan says, heard anything about MSP wanting Spurs 40% share?
Only what was in the news yesterday.
It's been mentioned before, hasn't it? But
it's been mentioned a year ago. Nearly a year ago to the day it was mentioned. It feels like it's a little. Someone put it up yesterday. Someone put it up on Twitter. That's like the post from a year ago. Literally the same headline. Yeah. So make that what you will. Make it that what you will.
Adam says Ned's just started the groundbreaking new way for football investment. I think he has. Darmad says it feels like every summer for the last 3 or 4 years we've been saying this, but transfers in out are huge in the coming months. Can't leave ourselves shorter than we already are, but sales are inevitable. Jared can't leave this summer, otherwise we're goosed. And if Dom doesn't sign a new deal in the next 4 weeks, we need to sell and reinvest. Mathew Barry says, Ped, Sam Matterface having a cry on Talkshite earlier before, mentioned being challenged by a YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
Dara McCantney and Kieran Maguire put him straight. Did you challenge him, did you?
He tweeted you this morning.
He tweeted me this morning.
Sam Matterface.
Did he? Saying what?
Saying, come on the show and
did he? He's right. Should I tweet him back live on air?
Should have said no because you smell.
I'll just say no because you make work for Murdoch.
Steve says Textor been trying to sell his minority stake in Palace for 12 months with no success. Can't see any bid for getting off the ground unless there's an interim buyer like MSP to give him another 12 months to sell. Gareth says, listening from the poolside in Bulgaria, never needed a holiday so much, making the most of being off work. It's right, Gareth, hope you're doing well, mate, after an awful time. Lovely says, player ratings recently on this channel, that Baz, not available again. Injured again. Black and Blue says, is Ned related to the log lady in Twin Peaks? James Wallen says, went to Liverpool Museum on Friday, they have a video on Everton and then watching it, and who pops up? Ped. There you go.
I apologise.
Fred says, welcome back, Barry Cash. Thank you very much, Fred. Says, happy 10 years, guys. Sorry I missed it the other week to wish you this, but then I had to wait because I didn't want Ned to take the glory. Thank you for continuing to do what you do with your content, even when Everton dive to lower and lower depths. The effort you put in to pick us up, keep us informed every day is hugely appreciated. You've generated a great community. Here's to the next 10, and again and again and again. Thank you, Fred. Top man. Hope you're good, mate. Glenn, I mean, I don't know whether or not to mention the water polo, but I will. Says, what is the best polo invention? The A, VW polo, B, the polo shirt, C, polo mint, D, water polo. I'd say the polo shirt is the best invention there. Mark Max says 5 minutes in, no review, water polo. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. It's not really up to me to review it, is it? All I will say is the day that I was apparently getting stick for playing it, I scored 3 and had 2 assists. So
there you go.
Make it that.
There's a future.
Make it that what you will.
I don't think anyone was giving you stick. They were just highlighting
discussing it. Listen, Curtains FC was trying to give the stick out, wasn't he? Brian says poor Ned and Jack couldn't get to the barbers last week to get the haircut they desperately needed, as they were standing in for Baswell, who's playing water polo, followed by champagne and caviar. It's right, Brad. I don't like caviar.
Me mate shut his barbershop down, so I was gonna ask Ped today for
what? To give you a haircut?
Yeah. No,
there's literally a hairdresser's like 6 minutes away, walking, and 94 seconds away in a car.
I kind of like how Ped.
He's on.
Do you want to go to Scam? You want to go to Scam and get your hair cut by Ped?
I just want someone to trust.
He's gone on holidays to get married, so he can't do nothing for the next couple of weeks.
Maybe I'm gonna have to just go somewhere. I don't know.
Go then.
Benjamin says, all right, guys, thanks, Ped, for talking about ADHD mental health last week. My brother has autism and was an early developer, so it's nice to hear you talking about it all on the live the other day. Also, apologies for not commenting. I'm watching, don't worry. Okay.
Fair play. There's a lot of people who say, I've got a premium member, I never comment. Comment on.
David says, morning, gents. Late to the show today, so I'm sure you've already talked about Super Kev. The loan in 99 was maybe the best Premier League loan ever. What a player.
And him training on his own.
Yeah. Training on his own.
Training on his own.
For sure.
Yeah. Go on. I just wanted to ask you.
No, go on.
I just wanted to ask you about this very quickly because obviously you've been away. But what do you make of this? Mightn't be really for this show, but I just thought it just came to it. What do you think of like Inverness basically moving to Edinburgh?
Clever. They can't get anyone to go there because it's so far. Yeah. But they're only going to train in Edinburgh, aren't they, to make it closer?
But all the players are going to live there, aren't they?
Yeah, because obviously that's the most. And then obviously
the fans are fuming though, aren't they? The fans are like saying they're not going to go to games. Then if you're not going to be here, we're not going to go to games. So, it's opened a can of worms. But interesting thing. And they're saying you're giving one of our rivals money because we're training at the training ground.
Yeah,
Mad, innit?
it is. I get why they might consider it, trying to get better team. You're on a better team. What do you do? But obviously, listen, I don't know. I understand the thinking, which is try and get people, because Inverness is out the way.
No, I know.
Both being to Inverness, it's quite far away. Like,
it's remote.
It is.
It's remote.
And therefore, but I mean, is it any? Well, I mean, it is. But I mean, a lot of players don't live in Liverpool, do they? You play for Everton and Liverpool. Do you live in Manchester?
Yeah, but it's only half an hour
I know,
away.
But I'm saying it's players don't necessarily always live where your club is, do they? So depends.
Hey, Ned's mum said to me on Saturday she can't wait for the trip to London though.
Excellent.
She said she's looking forward to seeing how he copes with Seagulls.
I'm not going.
That's and he
what?
I'm not going.
He didn't say this on Saturday.
I mean, you are.
He said to his mum, he said, I don't want to fight them, but if I have to fight them, I will fight them.
No, I just said...
And his mum was like, and I know, because P-Cat was standing with me. P-Cat was there. He was standing with me. He witnessed it all.
I don't even want to fight them. I just know that they couldn't take me.
His mum and dad seemed like, it was almost like we were... You know, like, I'm sure Zach's been like away with the school and stuff and all, you know, be good for him and all that kind of thing. That's what they were like. It was almost like this will be a good thing for him
to go to London.
Got
to face it, mate. You've got to face it.
Have a fight with a seagull.
If you would have never ever referenced it, it wouldn't be happening. But you were so cock a hoop over it.
Cock o hoop. Put that in your log.
Gorey says, why is any new ownership going to pay off all of debt when they can just wait it out? What do you mean, wait it out?
Someone's going to have to pay the debt.
What do you mean, wait it out, though? Wait what out? Because we will be sold. We'll be sold, I imagine, in the next couple of weeks. So
someone's going to have to pay the debt. That's you know, the debt will be passed on, won't it? You know, otherwise there'll be massive issues. Someone's going to have to pay the debt, and that would be a new owner. But the new owner might be able to, well, like you imagine, restructure the debt into because they can trying to think of the right word. They can be the guarantor, can't they? In many ways, for the debt. I mean, that's what Moshiri's thing was when he came in, that he was going to be the guarantor for the stadium, and in many ways, he has been the guarantor for the stadium.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Someone's going to have to pay that debt, but if Everton can get that debt refinanced over a longer period and get those interest right down, because Spurs' stadium is getting paid for over like 30 years. Yeah. It's not like that's getting paid all in one go.
They're on like 1.3 billion.
Yeah, their stadium's far more expensive than ours, but because of the structure of the debt, it's over a longer period. So, yeah.
Same with anyone's mortgage. There's always debt. There's this thing, Liverpool are 300 million in debt, Brighton are 400 million in debt. Everyone's got debts. It's whether you call them in. So the thing with this, why would anyone pay the debt? Because that's what happens, isn't it? You'd never buy a house if you didn't want to be in debt, would you? Unless you were absolutely minted and you could pay it in cash. But, you know, I imagine the people who can do that is less than 5%, probably more like 2% of people. Everybody else has to take a debt on, and that's the way it is. And people who come into the football club,
we've just done it the wrong way round, haven't we? We've spoken many times about how we missed the opportunity to get. Everton thought they could get a better deal on a loan than what they were being given, and then just as that was happening, COVID hit, and then coming out of COVID, the Ukraine situation hit. Everybody knows the interest rates have gone. Anyone's got a mortgage knows the interest rates have gone up. You know, you're paying 200, 300 more, whatever your house is worth, more, and all that money's going on is the interest. You know, whereas we were all paying basically our mortgage back, weren't we, for a very long time, and it was fine, and our mortgage going down. Now you're paying extra money. So add that. So if you've got a football club and suddenly you're paying all these mad interests, and Everton are now paying some silly interest rates on so many whether it be the rights and media one, which is very, very silly. And that's where a lot of our money's going. It's getting pissed up the wall on interest. And Everton have got to get themselves in a place where that's not happening in anymore. And they're paying... Everyone will always have debt. Of course, football clubs will always carry debt. That's not a bad thing. Yeah? You listen to any financial expert, they're not going to tell you carrying debt. It's your interest rates. And if you've got payday loans, essentially, and that's what we've been getting, you're paying money for nothing. You're paying maybe 5 million quid out a month, and it's going on someone's fee. And that's what Everton have got to get that right down. And until we do, then we're going to really be struggling.
James says Barrow do this in the National League. They train at FC United's ground and pay for players' hotels on a Friday night in Barrow for the home games to get people.
Barrow's a really difficult place to get to. I remember when I used to run the Blue Kipper team, and we went to Barrow to have a friendly. And we played on the first team pitch, actually. Oh my God, it's so hard to get, because you literally have to go right over the Lake District, and then you drop down into like this little town, which is like stuck in this valley. I know, I seen a programme about it, and like when you're just watching like one of those Northwest programmes, and it was like how isolated it is, and they're like really struggling. For people are moving away because young people are like, there's no opportunities to do anything.
Yeah. I've played the Barrow, it's miles away. Chris says, afternoon lads, Ped's guessed the 2 DH gigs. Is it Garner and Parkinson?
No. You might be 50%, but I'm not telling you which. And I'm not telling you which.
Interesting.
But no.
There you go. Ian said the same, the Barrow train in Manchester. David says the smart idea, Inverness thing. Do we go mad if players live in the Manchester area?
I think there is a difference though. Inverness to Edinburgh is like 2.5 hour drive. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying what Inverness is doing is wrong, but the team, but it is like having driven that pretty recently, it is like a 2.5 hour drive. It is. Inverness is so remote from that that it feels like for those people, they'll be thinking, well, all week there'll be no players, no staff, no nothing living around here. So listen, they've made a decision for the sake of their football club. We'll see how it goes.
Simon says, does he mean wait for administration? But administration's not on the table, regardless of whoever keeps coming out with this moronic idea that we should just go into the administration, or we're just about to go into administration. It's not the case. So we have to, like, the thing is, anyone who saw the clip that I put out yesterday from Matterface, there's like an 11-minute video, and I did watch bits of it just because I wanted to watch it so other people didn't. And some of the moronic stuff that is said in that video is basic. I mean, if anyone sees the video, I know it's radio, I don't encourage you to watch it because I don't want to have the clicks. But you can tell they are literally reading scripts. They are. Perry Groves puts his glasses on, for God's sake, to read what he's like. And when he says at the end that Everton need 200 million to finish the stadium off, that just literally done me. I was just laughing my head off at it. But they're talking about a fire sale and they're talking about administration, and that word gets thrown around far too much, and it's been brought into the equation stupidly, and we have to get away from using that word, and we have to get away from thinking this is why last week when we did a show, and Paul, obviously Irish Fan TV, he's a friend, when he said we need saving, it's like, we don't need saving. We need some good people to come into our football club to run it properly. But this idea of us needing saving, for me, I'm just not at that stage. I look at it thinking, when we had Henry Winter on last week, he couldn't be any more, anyone's watched that interview, he couldn't be any more complimentary about our football club. He couldn't be any more complimentary. He'd walked around Goodison and he'd walked around the new stadium literally the day before, and said, he was saying, he said, your football club will be fine because of you, because of the fan base. He said, look at your fan base. He said, your football club isn't going anywhere.
He said, yeah, it's struggling, it's having a difficult moment. He said, but it's not going anywhere, because look at the fans. He said, look what the fans have done in the last 3 years. He said, you are where you are because of the fans, because what we've done as a collective, whether it's inside the ground or whether it's outside the ground, or what we've done, what the Fab's done, what the Fans Forum's done, what any association surrounding the club have done, you've all pulled in the right direction, and you've all made sure that. We saw, like this time last year, you know, I think it was next week, wasn't it? The board got... Why did the board get binned? Because fans made that happen. We put pressure on and we made that happen. We've said loads of times. I think it's... Someone said to me yesterday about putting that clip up, going, oh, you're just helping them. It's like, I'm not helping them because I haven't put a link up, have I? I've took the clip of myself. But you've got to show how stupid these people are. Every time someone says something in the media that's stupid, it should be highlighted and say, you're talking bollocks, mate. And every time something's done in our media, which is good, we should praise our media, whether it be Joe Thomas, Julia, Radio Merseyside, any of the lads from the Echo, any of the Nationals, that at Everton thing. Anytime we should be praising them, going, that's a great piece, this is what's really going on. Because there's just too much clickbait about our football club, and there has been for the last couple of years about our football club, and we shouldn't let them get away with it.
But other people have fed that narrative.
No, I know they have.
People
I know.
should know better.
No, I know they have.
Fed it.
The administration line is not good. It's not good. I don't think it should be thrown around. That was my original point. It should not be thrown around as a word, like almost. And the problem is there are too many people who don't understand what that word means and what the consequences of that. Yes, for people who don't care about it, for our football club, it's a simple solution, isn't it? Let them go into administration, we'll pick up the pieces. Yeah. I said the other week, and you said similar, if that's how you start your career or your ownership of Everton Football Club, I don't want you anywhere near.
Be anywhere near my club.
Dan for HLT show last week said to me, he said, how do you feel about like John Textor wanting to bin us to come to you? And I was like, yeah, that makes me feel a little bit like...
It's uneasy,
it's like, I always feel like that with a player. I mentioned that to him and said, no, if a player kicks up a fuss to leave, wants to come, I don't see that as a good thing. I see that as a pretty bad thing, because 2 years later he'll be doing the same thing to us.
For Gordon to do it to Newcastle.
But that's it, isn't it? When players go on strike, oh well, look at him go. You know, it's not a good thing. No, it's not a good thing, because when he does do it to Newcastle because he wants to go to Liverpool, because he clearly does. No, and the stuff about Anfield is funny enough. I was listening because Henry Winter said to me off camera when, about England, he went about Anthony Gordon, and I said I don't really care. About Anthony Gordon. I said it was a great move for him. It was a good move for us at the time. He's a good player. We all knew he was a good player. I said, but he's a red. So we all know he's a vet. And then 2 days later, he puts a thing out, basically, in Anfield's got the best atmosphere. So it's like, we know where he wants to really be. You know, my dad said to you last week, my dad said to me, it feels like McMahon. And we had a chat about it, didn't we? He said, it feels like McMahon. Feels like a player who's trying to get to another club but can't go directly there, so has to go somewhere else first, and then start putting the leg out. But I think as fans, we have to jump, and fuck them if they don't like it. Like, if they're going to be that stupid and do stuff like that, don't get me wrong, no one should like ring up Talk Sport and give them what they want. That's why social media exists. Hammer them. Don't have to call them knobhead and all that. You go, you're talking nonsense, and this is why. I can back it up. You know, we've got good, you know, I was with Paddy Boylan on Saturday. We had a great chat, you know, about a few things, and you know, people like that who understand the situation, are not stupid. But at the same time, I like, yeah, if they are trying to, it's not panic stations. And so we've got plenty of our own people who understand the score at Everton. Let these shock jocks, you know, try and... But what'll happen is, if we don't jump into that kind of stuff, they'll stop talking about us. And as long as, if they are talking about us in those terms, like, you know, a fire sale where we're going to sell 3 of our best players for 80 million. Yeah. I mean, what kind of...
70 he said first.
75, didn't he? And then he went maybe 80. It's like, that's just hilarious. The funniest bit was when he went... Yeah, he was in the full video, he's going, we'll get this for much, this for... And he went, yeah, they'll probably have to sell James Garner for 25 million. And that's when I had to really just bite.
Yeah, crazy, aren't they? They're absolutely crazy.
Oh.
It's mad. Don't know, Dylan, what's up? Are you okay?
Why would Dylan?
I don't know, I suppose Baz okay. I'm wondering if I'm good, mate. William McGuinness says, ever since the days of Harry Katzich, most of the press have never liked us. Yeah, that's because he hated the press, didn't he? Katrick. Absolutely hated them and got everybody's back up, didn't he? Because he just wouldn't.
Here's a bit of good news.
Accept it. Go ahead.
There's a Twitter account called MCFC Lads.
Okay.
And it's asked ChatGTP to predict the next 10 Champions League winners. This is what it said: 2025, Manchester City; 2026, Bayern Munich; 2027, Manchester City; 2028, Everton. What does ChatGPT know?
It knows.
What does it know?
It knows.
What does it know?
It knows. I was talking to Steve about Jude Bellingham, and we'll do that.
It's only a one-off though. Man City winning 4 of the next 6 years with
tag.
Yeah.
And I said, we were talking about how he's gonna, his dad said he wants to stay Madrid for 10 years, the next 10 years, and then I think his plan is to go back to Birmingham, isn't it? I said to Steve, that's great, but he's gonna have a big decision in 3 or 4 years when Everton are massive and he wants to play for us. It's gonna be, what do we do? Gonna have to ring Carlo, and Carlo will say, I'm an Evertonian, you should go there. So fair play to him. And ChatGPT obviously thinks the same.
Never match yet.
Did
you see what he did last week? And it was so staged, it was unbelievable.
He went to
London.
Zach
Madrid.
Yeah, Zach show was like, he said, I was like, mate, come on. Dylan, I'm sad. I was just letting Pedro wax lyrical.
Getting into it.
Yeah, just letting him wax lyrical. But yeah, there you go. Premier is, Sarah says, buy a log. I actually saw the title and thought, ooh, Moshiri must have so many options. He's keeping a log. We need to create a wit and wisdom of Ned log.
Tremendous.
It'd be very long, Sarah, wouldn't it? We wouldn't know where and when to end it, I don't think. James says the shocking truth about Everton's 2028 Champions League win. Exactly, James. Exactly. Juan Figueroa, he's got to be a left-footed right winger with pace,
Figueroa,
hasn't he? Who could come to
Funny enough, Eric's lad was getting trained by
Maino Figueroa.
The other one, that's a couple of weeks ago, the one who was at Wigan.
Yeah, Maino.
No, not Figueroa, the other fella. The other fella who was at Wigan, who was at Kansas, but his name's a bit like Figueroa. What's his name? Can't remember.
Not the left back.
No, the centre midfielder. What was the centre midfielder's name? That just reminded me.
Oh, yeah.
Played for Kansas and he played for Wigan. Oh, what's his name? That just reminded me. He's not a Figueroa, though.
Who?
You don't know. You don't know nothing.
Played midfield for Wigan.
Yeah.
Centre mid.
When?
No, you don't know anything.
Under Martinez.
Yeah.
McCarthy.
No.
Espinosa, Emerson Boyce, but he played right back most of the time after a while.
Okay, James McCarthy and James McArthur very clearly aren't like Colombian players.
It was Espinosa, wasn't it?
Espinosa with the long black hair. Espinosa.
He did come up with Espinosa.
He did, that's what I'm saying.
To be fair.
It's hilarious. Hang on, why's Ned got such a good knowledge of Wigan players but doesn't know Everton players?
Any Everton players, but
Roger Espinosa. Was that it? Roger,
yeah, his first name Roger, wasn't he? He wasn't Colombian, he was
Ecuadorian.
Was Ecuadorian? Yeah.
Andorran he was.
Hold on. Oh,
Honduran. Yeah.
Andorran.
Yeah, that's right.
Honduran.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Oh, Hondurian.
Yes, that's what I just said. Andorran. That's how Star Wars.
I thought. Then I was thinking he didn't play for Andorra either.
The blue and white flag. I think he was from there, yeah.
Yes. Steve Kelly says, all right, lads, hope you're both well. Is this multi-club model seem like it's getting very messy with other clubs? Obviously with the news about United last week. Also praying for Kev Hero growing up. And also R.I.P. Rob Burrow. Such an amazing human. The multi-club thing is looking a little bit. It is looking.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It should have been stopped very early on. It should have been stopped very. I don't think they can do anything about it now because there's too much power. City Group have too much power now. They've got 12 teams, is it?
Is that what it is? That many now? It's a crazy amount. Like
I know one of them last week was a Girona. Their sponsor now is Etihad. And another one last week changed their badge so it looks very much like the City badge. With the round.
Yeah.
And it's just like they've got too much power. And you're going to have, Girona and Man City playing the Champions League next season. Man City and Nice are playing in the Europa League. It's ridiculous, and it's just. I remember when. Do you remember when UEFA used to make the two teams change?
Not Wilson Palacios.
No, wasn't Wilson
he was
Palacios.
a player.
Remember when UEFA wouldn't even let two teams play each other who had the same sponsor? He would make them one of them. So I think when Arsenal played Paris Saint-Germain in the 2000s, Arsenal had to change their sponsor to something like the tagline of Emirates. You wouldn't let them both have Emirates on. And like that's how much they used to police some games. And now two teams who are owned by the same club can play each other. And all they've got to do basically is just change a couple of things behind the scenes round or whatever. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting so stupid.
No, it is
but maybe it's gone too far. Now Red Bull are buying into Leeds, and where does that go? It's just. To me, yes, they've opened the door and it'll never,
can't shut it.
Can't shut it, no.
Just very quickly, Fab Romano has tweeted that Aston Villa have reached agreements with Luton Town to sign Ross Barkley. So Ross going there, good luck to him. Sure he'll be very good there. And Nathan says if Everton do it right, they really could capitalise on the stadium, selling the naming rights and secondly getting those big events. Living in Perth, Optus Stadium changed us. He says,
"Bosh."
There you go. So yeah, Ross to Villa. Not a surprise, really. Is
Good
it?
move for him.
That's a great move for him. Been excellent last season, and he'll be a handy addition to them. They're already a good side.
Luton to Champions League football, like
shows you, doesn't it? Like the last couple. McMahon, excellent comparison, says David, with regards to Gordon. Kev Murphy says Garner and Materazzi.
You are correct. You are. That's only because you watch regularly.
No, he knows. And Jez says, what other coming of age events is there beyond fighting seagulls?
There's not.
That's the one, Jez. I think that's the ultimate one. You threaten a seagull, you have to pay the consequence.
It's a modern day Kes.
Just said stay away from me, man.
It's a very much a modern day
Stay
Kes.
away from me, man.
And it's a
seagull.
I like the footy game in Kes. The teacher takes his clothes off. He's got a United kiss on underneath.
Okay, right, we're going. We'll be back on in 5 minutes. Ned put the magical link there, so stay around for some Champions League and other chat.
Magical stuff
as well. It's incredible. Join us, don't go anywhere. Like, subscribe, they were on both channels here in 4 minutes.
Bye.